Hey y'all, this is AL Thank Madame, and this is, I guess, a what a week post. If it's not that, then it's a married man side heifer saga. I'm thinking it's gonna be a what a week post though. So anyway, y'all, I need to take me a nap because today is the day that I'm supposed to go and link up with one of my friends so we can do this painting one-on-one girls time, catching up with one another, because the last time that I linked up with her, she wanted me to meet her man. He came into town, we met up, and it was a whole vibe. Like, it was a vibe. It was cool meeting him. And I mean, I'd already talked to him like briefly on FaceTime before, but the fact that she apparently like values our friendship, she wanted him to meet me in person. So yeah, that went well. He actually ended up liking Kaneka sausage. I keep trying to tell y'all, if you're gonna eat meat and if you're gonna eat sausage, you need to get the best sausage in the United States of America, made in the United States of America. That's just so happened to be made in my home state of Alabama. And it's called Kaneka sausage. But anyway, I'm not here for that. Y'all, look, I know I look a fool. I know I do. This is what I'm gonna be wearing, meaning this, just this. Um, I'm gonna shower and I'm gonna do everything I need to do. But my hair is not done, y'all. That's why it's looking like this. This is literally the result of 3 rows done in the back, and that's it. I was lazy. It is mental gymnastics for me to braid my hair. It has always been that way. I don't know why. I don't know why. It just does something to me. I instantly start to regret it, even though I want them. Like, I've been wanting braids. Y'all, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm envisioning it right now. I've been wanting braids for 6+ months. And I typically like to get them when it's colder and all that stuff. So I ain't got to really do nothing in my hair unless I want to change however I'm styling it. And I'm just like, child. Ooh, the mental gymnastics. Okay, so anyway, that's why it's looking like this. It ain't, my hair ain't done. Literally, it's literally 3 rows that I've done, and that's it. That is it. That is all. And that's why I have this on. So I'm going to take me a shower and put on some clothes, and I'm gonna go meet up with my friend in about an hour and a half. I don't even know if I'm gonna get a 30-minute or an hour nap in like I wanted to before that, but we gonna see. We gonna see. So y'all excuse me in advance. That's why I'm looking dusty. I keep trying to tell people, big body beings, I'm still dusty, but I'm not as dusty as other people. So just keep that in mind. It is what it is. So let me go ahead and get into this. Okay, so I guess this is going to be a what a week type of situation that I'm gonna be doing. That's what this is. Not enough happened for me to really post a married man side heifer saga. So let me just tell you what all went going on. So my last day of work was Tuesday. Wednesday, the first department was supposed to get shut down, and then Thursday, the rest of the departments were going to be shut down because they have to turn off the power in the building so that they can start doing certain things in relation to the new department that we are getting. So it is what it is. We're supposed to come back Monday. Okay. I'm not coming back Monday. I'm not coming back Tuesday. I'll be back next Friday because in the past I've come back like on a Sunday, a Monday, or a Tuesday, something like that. And it's like I was off for a couple of days for like similar reasons. And then I had to go back into it. And then I'm over here drained. And y'all done worked the mule out of me. And then I'm over here trying to recuperate on my days off. And I'm just like, no, I want to stay in my Zen place. I want to stay in my Zen place and enjoy my time off. I'm over here catching up on I was about to say Call of Duty, which I am. I'm over here catching up on The Walking Dead. I'm behind on The Walking Dead. Look, I done just said to myself, I don't even remember where I left off at. I just started on season 10, I think. Like, I had gotten far behind. There's some people that I heard somebody say died, and I was like, wait a minute. I done jump way ahead. But I'm just like, I'm tired of trying to figure out where I am again. Because every time I try to start, something always pop up. And it's like other shows. It's so many shows. Like, oh my gosh, so many new shows out that's good. So many old shows that I've been trying to catch up on. It's so much stuff, y'all. I am going to do thoughts posts on some of those. But yeah. But let me go ahead and get into why we are here. So, my last day of work was Tuesday. But before that, I ended up talking to the person that y'all have you basically heard me talk about when I was doing the married man side heifer saga. The married man has targeted her. That's what I'm gonna say. And it's funny because when I gave her the rundown on him and the side heifer, she was disgusted. Basically, every single thing that I said, she said the same thing. Like, she's confused as to why she's setting it off over him when that's not even her man. And like, you have a child. Like, that's not a good example to set for a child. And you have a son. Like, you got a son. Your son might end up acting exactly like the person whose behavior you're allowing. Like, it's stupid. But anyway, the other day she ended up thanking me for, enlightening her. Y'all, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I promise y'all. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just like, why am I getting tongue tied like this? But anyway, she was glad that I told her about what all was going down, because she was in the dark and she really would have been all the way blindsided, because she already said that she felt off about it. And she was just like, my intuition was telling me something was off, but I'm glad that you all the way confirmed it. And I mean, I straight up made sure I told her again, like, don't go to her with it, because if she would have found out and saw y'all or whatever, like, she don't even know the extent of it. Okay, so her last day of the work week is Saturday, right? So Sunday happened. Tell me why. Because she wasn't there Sunday, he came upstairs. The side heifer was assigned to work the second half of the day. She volunteered the first half, then she was assigned the second half. So it is what it is. She's close to the top or whatever. Or unless I know her partner who ain't never at work, she has been assigned, but she has been calling out. And it's like, girl, if I was to do that, 5 is what I would have been. But who am I? Anyway, so I had already told old girl that they used to wear the same outfits like they were a couple. Y'all know how some couples dress alike. That's what she would do. She wears the same color shirt and the same color pants on purpose. And like recently, literally like the other day, she randomly, 2 days in a row, she wore 2 different color shirts. And I was like, is she all right? Because when I tell y'all 99.9% of the time, she wear the same thing. And it's crazy because that's what they would do. They would wear the exact same color shirt and pants, so that it was kind of like, oh, we moving as a unit. And I was just like, but you do know that's somebody else's man, though. Oh, okay, who am I? Never mind. So anyway, she was shocked. I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah. We ended up working together Tuesday. I said, guess what? She said, what? I said, yeah. When you weren't here, he came up here to visit her. And guess what? She said, what? I said, they were matching. Like I told you before, they used to come to work matching all the time. I mean, the very few times that can be counted on my hands since I've been at that job that she's worn a different color shirt, he was wearing the exact same color shirt as well. And I'm just like, y'all doing the most. Really the least, but go off though. And so she was like in disbelief. I'm like, yeah. And I could tell it was one of his older shirts because he got his shipment in. Like, I'm telling y'all, he switched up his whole wardrobe and started wearing a hat and everything. And I was just like, that's why I had to, if I don't look in his face, most of the time I don't know it's him. Because he switched everything up. I was like, who is that? Because they like was waving something terrible. And then I was like, hi. I'm thinking it's a new person. Man, they got up on him. He's still looking in my face and it's him. I'm like, oh gosh. When he look like that, when his beard get as thick as this, when he start wearing a hat, when he start wearing this color shirt, when he start wearing this jacket. He ain't never worn no jacket before, so I'm thrown off. But anyway, that's why I asked her to specify if she remembered what color shirt and whatever, he had on that were identifying, factors or whatever. So when she told me that day, I was like, wait a minute, let me think about that, because he has been wearing new stuff. I know it's been darker things, but what is he wearing today? Let me go see. And it was funny because when I went to break, he was going to break at the same time that same day that she and I were initially talking about all of this. And he ended up having on certain colors. So when I came back, she went to break right after me. And when she came back, I said, did he have on these colors? She was like, yes. I was like, yeah, we're talking about the same person. So anyway, y'all, she is just utterly disgusted. What else been going on? Cause it's like I had so much stuff to tell y'all, and I'm like, why did I wait so long to even come on here and tell y'all about the stuff? I'm about to forget. Like, what happened? Child, uh tell me why the one person at that job that I do know who is actually single, available, and all of that, who, if he was to ask me out on a date, I might kind of think about it or whatever, because he actually is nice and sweet. It's the dude that I told y'all. It's the gap for me. It's the beard for me. It's the bald head for me. All of that. It's a younger dude, and he fine, and I can tell he like what he see, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. But y'all, tell me why one day I wore something in particular. And so, y'all, off rip, when I saw this man, I was like, no, he don't got the same outfit I got on. So I did it. I did with the what's up, like, what's up, what's going on? Like I did, I raised my hands. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? And he did the same thing, like, wait a minute. Because I was like, what's going on here? Why you got the same thing I got on? Man, I've gotten him to get out of his shell. Because typically he don't really talk to people like that. He don't really talk to everybody like that. He talks to like a very, very small handful of people. And like he don't deal with nobody except one other person that works upstairs with me, only because they used to go to school together. And this dude is like friendly with everybody anyway. So it is what it is. But yeah, people be looking at us. I'll be like, child, don't worry. Like, y'all know how it go. Oh, I know what I got to tell y'all. And I'm tired. It ain't even got nothing to do with this job. It's my last job. That's how ignorant it is. But anyway, back to this before I move on to that, and then I'll be done. I'm not going to be before y'all very much longer. I'm sorry in advance. So anyway, so I was like, because I ended up seeing him later on. So I was like, well, what's up? Like, why you got the same thing I got on? Why you got the same outfit that I got on? He was like, man, I'm trying to be like you. I was like, not you trying to be like me. But yeah, like he is like opened up. And I'm glad, because I didn't want him to be nervous or feel like, oh my gosh, like in his mind, he think that I look some type of way to him and he should feel like, oh, I'm superior or whatever. Because at that time, when I first met him, he was getting paid a little bit less than me. He was very, very efficient. He did his job. He was everything. He was getting a little bit less than me. I think he's getting a little bit more now because he doing the most now. And I'm like, oh, you better do that. You better get that money. I know that's right. You better get that money. And I'm not saying that as if I'm a gold digger. So I'm just saying I like for people to be able to elevate and do what they're going to do. He wanted the extra money, and so he went for that position, and he was able to get it. So I'm here for it. So anyway, we be having little moments, and like, there are times he actually initiates conversation. I'll be like, not you initiating conversation. Like, I really be reading. I'll be like, not you initiating conversation. He be here for it, though. He be like indulging in it. I'll be like, okay, you catch it up. You picking up what I'm putting down. So anyway, y'all, let me tell y'all the last thing, and then I'm going to be done. Okay, y'all. So like I said, I was trying to remember what else I had to tell y'all. This is some foolishness from my last job. And see, this is why I am the way I am, and I think the way that I do, because people really be trying to come for me, and it really be unwarranted. People really be in their feelings for no reason. So tell me why, again, at my old job. So I have a friend, it's a guy, and we are cool. And I'm talking about we are cool to the point where my mama, I just spoke to my mama on the phone yesterday, and she asked me about him and his nephews and the rest of his family, because we are cool. Like, we are platonic. I have no interest in him. He has no interest in me. I mean, he might think I have a nice butt or body or something like that, but I don't look at him no type of way like, ooh, he fine or nothing like that. Like, I ain't never looked at him like that. So anyway, just to make sure I clarify. So anyway, he's still working that job, but on a different shift. Tell me why people who worked on the shift that he and I used to work on before he went to that shift approached him. And they were like, oh, do you still talk to her? And he was like, yeah. And so they over here talking about, so, well, how's she doing? And what she got going on and all this other stuff. And so he know how I do. Don't be telling my business. Like, I mean, this is something I never even had to say to him. But it's just like the principle, like, if I don't fool with you like that, you don't know my business for a reason. Don't worry about what I got going on. Don't worry about where I'm at. Don't worry about what's going on. Like, it's like, what's the problem? So they over here trying to be like, oh, well, what she got going on? Oh, y'all, I know y'all was trying to be together. Y'all was together, right? I knew y'all liked each other. And so he was trying to tell them, like, they kept asking questions, and he was like, well, we don't talk like that. And so they was like, what? Oh, they over here thinking they done got some tea. And it's like, anyway, they over here thinking they done got some tea. And he was like, it ain't even like that. Like, we still are really, really close, but we don't have to talk every day for us to be close. Like, they really thought they did something, thought they had stumbled upon some information. And I'm like I keep trying to tell people, I do not deal with most people anymore. I do not talk to most people who I used to heavily associate with. Not as if I've cut them off. I tell them every other blue moon, or if I'm on some form of social media, I'll be like, hey, y'all, how y'all? Like, I'll let y'all know I'm alive. Like, they get their life when I throw like a little video or a little picture or something. They're like, hey, y'all, hey, bye. Ladies, how y'all feel? Fellas, y'all all right? I do that and I go on about my business. Like, I let y'all know I'm alive. Hey, bye. You know what I'm saying? If I feel compelled to send you a personal message, whether it's by text, an actual DM, or whatever, okay, cool. But if not, I mean, I'm thinking of you. I have prayed for you. I wish you the best, but I'm not going to give all of my energy anymore like I used to. So, and I mean, it's not me trying to be me. Hopefully it's not coming off that way in the way that I am explaining it, because that's not what I'm intending to do. So anyway, with this situation, even when I was at that job, I would not tell these people nothing. Only thing these people knew was that I am from Alabama and I do not live here anymore, and that I had a boyfriend at the time. That is all they knew. They ain't know nothing else about me. Okay, so my old car would try me every now and again, but that's pretty much all the information they knew about me. Okay. So he reached out to me the other day and was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. How you doing? And so I was like, I'm fine. So he has a girlfriend. I have been trying to get him to get back on the dating scene for a while, because he really is a good dude. He has asked me to hook him up and like introduce him to people before. And so one person who he was infatuated with, y'all, if I told y'all the rabbit hole that heifer led him down, woo, child. But anyway, it was a lot. But things haven't worked out with other people, but I kept telling him, like, you are too good of a dude. I have seen how you have maneuvered when you are in relationships. You are relationship material. Definitely heal, and then when you're ready, I hope that you are open to get back out there. So he has a girlfriend now, which I'm very happy about. They seem to be very, very, they mesh very well together, and I'm here for it. So, the people at the other job, first of all, one of the two heifers who rolled up on him is somebody who I don't deal with. Most people at that job don't like the heifer. She been there like 20 some years, and like, which she's one of the people that like, she's been there since she was like in her like late 20s, early 30s or something like that. But so she like creeping up on retirement age. So anyway, this heifer over here trying to stir the pot, and I'm just like, ma'am, he and I are not in a relationship. We have never been in a relationship. Our relationship, if you will, was legit just like this. We came to that job around the same time. He says that I got there before him. I thought he was there like a month or something before me, but he swears that I got there before him. Anyway, there were a group of us who came like around the same time. I'm talking about it was 15, 20 of us. It got to a point where it just dwindled down to he and I now being the last of the Mohicans, okay? And all of us would all sit together on our lunch breaks, and even though we didn't all have the same lunch break, it would be like let's say my lunch break at 12. If the other people's break was at 12:15, or 12, let me say 12:30, the people that was getting up, some of the people who came in at 12:15 or whatever, like it was like kind of like a rotating door, and we was all sitting down talking to each other and all that other stuff. It just was what it was, and he and I were used to sitting with one another at this table, and the table became smaller and smaller. The group became so small that it just got to a point where he and I would just sit at this big table together, and that's just what it was. And every now and again, other people would come over, but it was usually just he and I. And he would talk to me about MMA and wrestling and fighting and stuff like that, just random stuff. That's literally what was going on. And people just swore he would not even talk and couldn't talk for the longest. And I'm just like, he's very talkative. I don't know what y'all talking about, but go off though. So it's not like we were over there like plotting and scheming upon, ooh, what we gonna do? Let's go sneak and do this when we get out work or something like that. Like there was no sexual nothing between us. So I'm like, what is y'all talking about? So I'm already pissed off with him telling me this information and the main person who he said it came from. Because I'm like, ma'am, don't nobody at that job like you. I never was here for you when I was there. Because you always, anytime she ever approached me, it was always because she was trying to be nosy about something. And I'm like, ma'am, if you don't get out of my face, if you don't go somewhere else, that's something I never understood. You want to roll up. She would legit come out of nowhere and come into my department and try to be like, oh, well, what's going on with this? Oh, well, what's going on with that? Or she would even try to take it upon herself to try to run something. And it's like, ma'am, you do not work over here. Yes, you have been here for years, but the area that I was working in, it was kind of fairly new. And then as time progressed, we ended up getting all kinds of innovative stuff in there that she knew nothing about. It was to the point where in that department, if you had not been trained on any of the latest stuff going on, like long before I left, you could not even come and work over there. You were not permitted to even work over there, up there, because it was so much stuff that you had to sign off on. You had to take tests on. It was a lot of stuff, y'all. And I was getting paid peanuts at that job. I'm just saying. And that department would run after COVID hit. That department ran 7 days a week. And I was like, y'all is really trying it. Like, I am tired. I was so exhausted. And I'm like, my check was so trash. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm making it. I really don't know how I'm making it. So anyway, this heifer would legit come from out of nowhere and be like, oh, hey. And then I'm like, I didn't even know this heifer knew my name. All of a sudden, you know my name when you want to try to hustle something up out of me, thinking you're going to hustle something up out of me. And once I realized how she was, I'm like, I would sit up there and play dumb. And 99% of the time, I knew exactly what information she was trying to pull out of me. And I'd be like, oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, like, she really would try me. Like, she really would try me. And I used to just have to be like, ignore her. If you don't ignore her, you're going to be the one upside her head. And then you're going to be fired and you're going to be in jail. And it's like, no, don't do it. And then the other person, like, she seemed cool, but she messy. Like, she's very messy. And it's like, both of these people, they have nothing going on in their lives outside of work. And they just, it's kind of like how the side heifer is. They'll create drama. And it's like, why are you so bored? Why are you that bored that you want to sit up here and create drama? I don't be understanding. So anyway, the other one is still upset to this day that my friend whose grandmother passed away when we were at that job. First, my grandmama passed away in 2017. His grandmama passed away in 2018, I think. And he told me when the funeral was and where the funeral was. Child, 18, 19, 20, 4 years later, this heifer done brought up to him how she's still upset that I found out about the funeral before her and where it was. Why? Why are you mad that my friend relayed to me information about his grandmother's passing and where the location of the funeral was going to be? I don't understand why you mad. I really am not understanding. I didn't understand then, and I don't understand now, especially the fact that you mad about it. That don't even make no sense, right? Okay, so, and then when I was talking back and forth with him, I was like, see, I can't. Like, how you gonna be mad at me? Like, you don't even understand. Y'all, I've already told y'all, those of y'all who've been here, y'all already know. When my grandmama passed away, that was my last living grandparent. That was my daddy's mama. She lived a full life, but that did something to me. It broke something in me. And I never would have expected for her to have lived as long as she did, for that to affect me in that way. I was at work breaking down crying, and I could not function. And when I was halfway being able to kind of pull it together, there were days that I was like really going through and I was holding it together and I was kind of trying to focus my attention elsewhere. I'll never forget one day after she had passed away, I was working with my friend. Now, this was before he ended up going to another shift. Working with my friend because we worked in the same department. Like I'm telling y'all, this man saw me and like my whole vibe, I already know my whole vibe was off. I wasn't the bubbly, happy me that I typically am. And he saw that, like I was quiet, I would not talk, like none of that. And so he just came behind me, like standing up while I was sitting down, and he like hugged me, like completely like engulfed me, and I just burst out crying. And there were people who were, it was like a handful of people who were like nearby, we were working. They didn't know what was going on because I don't talk to them about what's going on in my life. He was the only one who knew. I think to this day, don't none of them know what I was going through. They didn't even know. So like he already knew. Like that's one thing that I hate about certain people, and I mean this in a positive way. Actually, when I say hate, he's very, very overly observant. So he saw that I was being really, really quiet. And like he's very talkative. Like if he know you and he get to know you, he will find something to talk to you about. He will talk your head off. And he used to get me through the day. But that particular day, I did not want to talk. I didn't want to, like, I didn't even want to be there. Like, I did not even want to be there. And he came and he hugged me. And it's like he knew I needed that hug. Don't know how he knew, but it's like he knew. So I had a good release. I needed that hug. It was what it was. So then, fast forward to when his grandmama passed away. Before she passed away, she had a moment where we had gotten to work. And then I'd be doggone, it's like 15 minutes into the shift. And his folks calling him. And they like, yeah, we're going to come up there and get you because the ambulance just came to the house because your grandmama's heart stopped. She stopped breathing. Something happened and the ambulance were called. She didn't die that time, but I think it put a lot of strain on her heart. It was a lot that happened that day. And like, he was so nervous and so scared and he was in distress that day. And so I kind of tried to comfort him that day. So then the time came when she actually did pass away and it was a lot. He would come to work and you could tell that he was in a really bad place. And considering I'd already been there before, I know what he's going through because he was close. He was close to her. And so it was just a lot. And then like y'all, so he was living at the grandmama's house. And they were trying to figure out how they were going to like come up with money for her funeral or something. They were money for something. They was wondering how they was going to do it. So they end up cleaning up and, you know, getting some stuff together or whatever. And somebody looked into the Bible that she had. After they had done everything, they looked in the Bible. She had an envelope that had like notes in it for like everybody. And she had some money in it. And she said, it's like she knew that her time was coming. And she had left some money in there. And she left letters in there. And he was like, my grandmama is so funny. She left this knowing that we were going to need some money to help bury her or for whatever the expense was at that time. And like she had this sense of humor about herself. And the fact that she left little notes in places around the house, I was like, wow. And then like while he was telling me this, somebody was trying to overhear what we was talking about and they didn't understand. And I'm like, you don't understand because you're not friends with him. You don't understand because he has told me so much about his grandmama, and I've told him so much about my grandmama that I am fully aware of when I should laugh and when I shouldn't. I'm understanding that it's not appropriate for me to laugh in this moment, but it's appropriate for me to laugh in that moment. Like, it was just a lot. And so like it was just it made me so mad when he told me that these people were trying to meddle in my business and trying to figure out what's going on with us and trying to insinuate that we was in a relationship and all this other stuff. And it's like, I don't understand how you mad at somebody for knowing about somebody's funeral when I'm actually close friends with them. The one person who was mad, she knows of his family, but I'm like, it ain't like you are family. Why are you mad? Like, I have literally made food. I made full on food and I baked stuff and sent it to them. His grandmama has had some of this said food. She has enjoyed herself. I'm not under. What have you sent? What do they know about you? Like, I'm just like, I don't understand. But anyway, y'all, that just baffled me, and that's why I don't tell these people about nothing I have going on in my life. I don't tell these people nothing because they be plotting and hoping and praying and wishing that things are going so terrible with me, and they be thinking they finna like somehow just stumble upon some tea. And I'm just like, child, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, that's why I go to work, run my errands, and go home. But anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this foolishness because these people drain me, and that's why I stay to myself. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.